If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The NFL world woke up today to one of the most shocking developments in recent memory. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, has reportedly decided to step down from his position. That's right. The man who led the Browns out of years of mediocrity, who restored hope to one of football's most passionate fan bases, has allegedly called it quits. No one saw this coming, not the players, not the media, and certainly not the fans who had finally started to believe that the team was on the right track. Sources close to the organization describe a tense atmosphere in Berea, with front office executives scrambling to make sense of what just happened. Stefanski, known for his calm demeanor and analytical approach, is said to have made the decision late last night after a closed-door meeting with team ownership. The news spread like wildfire across social media, with fans flooding timelines with disbelief and speculation. Could this be burnout, a dispute with management, or perhaps something more personal that no one saw coming? Whatever the reason, the timing couldn't be more dramatic. The Browns were showing real promise, and now everything seems to be unraveling in an instant, leaving a trail of confusion and disbelief. People inside the organization are trying to maintain composure, but make no mistake, this is chaos in Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski wasn't just a coach, he was the stabilizing force that turned a once laughingstock franchise into a legitimate playoff contender. His attention to detail, calm leadership style, and methodical approach to the game brought a sense of professionalism that had been missing for decades. Under his watch, the Browns snapped their playoff drought and even won a postseason game, something fans still celebrated like a championship. To hear that he's walking away now, in the middle of a promising campaign, is nothing short of stunning. Some insiders whisper about possible health concerns or a personal matter that forced his hand. Others suspect growing friction between Stefanski and upper management over personnel decisions, particularly at quarterback, a topic that's been a source of quiet tension all season. One thing is clear, this wasn't planned. It's not part of a larger organizational shift. It's pure, raw shock. And the ripple effects are already being felt throughout the NFL community as the story unfolds. Many are revisiting Kevin Stefanski's journey through the league, a man who climbed every rung of the coaching ladder the hard way, starting as an assistant with the Minnesota Vikings back in 2006. Stefanski worked through nearly every offensive role possible before being named offensive coordinator in 2019. He earned respect not because of flashy speeches or loud sidelines, but through intelligence, preparation, and a quiet intensity that resonated with players. When Cleveland hired him in 2020, fans were cautiously optimistic, but few could have predicted the immediate turnaround. He brought discipline, balance, and structure to a team often defined by chaos. So when someone with that kind of football mind suddenly walks away, it raises red flags. Was there something happening behind the scenes? Did ownership push too hard? Or did Stefanski simply decide he'd had enough of the relentless pressure cooker that comes with leading an NFL franchise? Every fan, analyst, and insider is asking the same question tonight. Why now, and why like this? Rumors are flying faster than passes on Sunday. Some claim Stefanski had grown increasingly frustrated with the front office's interference in game plans and player usage. Others whisper about a clash over the quarterback situation, suggesting he no longer felt in control of the team's direction. One unnamed source described a heated meeting last week between Stefanski and senior executives, an argument that may have been the breaking point. Still, there are those who insist this is something more personal, something deeper than football. Perhaps family, perhaps mental health, areas few dare to speculate on but everyone wonders about. Whatever it is, this resignation has cracked open the fragile balance that kept the Browns moving forward. Players are reportedly stunned, many finding out through text messages or social media rather than official channels. Some have already taken to X and Instagram, expressing confusion and heartbreak. This isn't just a coaching change, it's a shockwave that could derail everything the Browns have built over the past few seasons. Meanwhile, the fanbase is in full meltdown mode. Cleveland's sports community is unlike any other, loyal, emotional, and deeply invested in every win and loss. To them, Kevin Stefanski wasn't just a head coach. He was a symbol of hope, proof that their suffering could finally lead to something meaningful. Now that hope feels shattered, sports radio in Ohio is lit up with disbelief, anger, and sadness. Callers are demanding answers, some blaming ownership, Others the toxic media pressure that constantly hounds NFL coaches. There's even speculation that Stefanski might be stepping away temporarily, perhaps taking a leave rather than a full resignation, but the team's silence speaks volumes. No official press conference, no statement from ownership, just a short internal memo confirming the decision. For fans who lived through decades of false dawns, this feels like deja vu, a painful reminder that stability in Cleveland never lasts long, and yet, deep down, many still hold out a flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, there's more to this story than we know. Across the league, fellow coaches and analysts are expressing both sympathy and disbelief. The NFL grind is ruthless, and many insiders know the toll it can take: long hours, intense scrutiny, and the constant fear of failure. Stefanski's reputation among peers has always been one of quiet professionalism, a man who cared deeply about his players and staff. To see him walk away without a scandal or controversy suggests a man at his limit, perhaps realizing that success wasn't worth the personal cost anymore. Still, this move leaves the Browns in uncharted waters. With no clear interim coach named and the season hanging in the balance, the team faces uncertainty that could easily spiral into chaos. Rival teams are already circling, speculating on what comes next for Cleveland. As for Stefanski, his future remains a mystery. Will he step away from football entirely, or will another opportunity tempt him back sooner than anyone expects? For now, one thing is certain: the NFL just lost one of its sharpest minds, and the Browns are once again standing at the crossroads of hope and heartbreak. The fallout from Kevin Stefanski's resignation continues to ripple across the NFL, and the speculation is only growing louder. Reporters outside the Browns facility describe a surreal atmosphere: assistant coaches avoiding cameras, players leaving meetings with blank stares, and team officials refusing to comment beyond a rehearsed no statement at this time. It's like watching a storm form over Lake Erie. Dark and unpredictable. Sources close to the locker room say the players are torn between shock and disappointment. Stefanski wasn't just a strategist, he was a mentor. His even-keeled nature earned their respect, and his departure feels like losing the backbone of the team. Behind closed doors, some players reportedly confronted management, demanding clarity about what led to this decision. Others are quietly considering their own futures, wondering if this might signal a deeper issue within the franchise's culture. It's rare to see this level of confusion in a professional locker room, and yet here we are, Cleveland once again at the center of an NFL drama that no one could have predicted. Amid all the chaos, there's growing talk that Kevin Stefanski might not be entirely done with football. Some insiders suggest this was a power move, a way to escape a situation that had become untenable and reset on his own terms. Imagine that, a man walking away not out of weakness, but strength, by stepping down before things imploded. Stefanski might be preserving his reputation and mental well-being, while also sending a message to ownership about control and respect. The league is watching closely, and already, whispers of future opportunities are beginning to circulate. Teams with unstable coaching situations like the Commanders or the Bears might see Stefanski's availability as a golden chance to snag a proven leader, yet others argue he won't return anytime soon, insisting that his decision is final and rooted in personal reflection rather than professional strategy. Regardless of what comes next, his exit has changed the conversation about what it means to be an NFL coach in today's environment. The pressures, the politics, and the unrelenting grind that can break even the most composed leaders. Cleveland fans are trying to piece together clues, searching for meaning in the silence. Local journalists are dissecting every rumor, every small hint, hoping to uncover what truly pushed Stefanski over the edge. Some point to recent disagreements over the offensive game plan, especially surrounding quarterback rotations and injury management. Others note subtle signs of fatigue: shorter press conferences, more guarded answers, a certain weariness in his tone. The narrative forming is one of a man quietly battling pressures most people can't see. Coaching an NFL team isn't just about X's and O's, it's about managing egos, politics, and expectations that stretch far beyond the field. And in Cleveland, where the emotional investment runs deep, the burden can be crushing. Perhaps Stefanski realized that staying might cost him more than leaving ever could. If that's the case, this decision might not be about failure, it might be about freedom, and that's something fans, after the initial shock, might come to respect. But let's be honest, this story is far from over. Every sports network in America is dissecting it from every angle. Is there a hidden scandal? Was there a clash of philosophies between coach and ownership? Could Stefanski have been pushed out rather than walking willingly? The lack of transparency from the Browns only fuels the speculation. Some analysts are calling this Cleveland's most Cleveland moment ever, a reminder that whenever hope blooms, chaos follows close behind. Still, others are defending Stefanski's legacy, emphasizing that his tenure brought structure and respectability back to the franchise. Under his leadership, the Browns weren't just better, they were relevant, a team opponents actually feared. Losing that kind of presence overnight could have long-term consequences. The NFL isn't kind to teams that lose their identity mid-season. So while fans mourn the loss of their coach, rival teams are quietly celebrating, sensing weakness in a team that once looked poised to contend in the cruel world of professional sports. The line between triumph and collapse is thinner than ever. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Meanwhile, speculation about the next head coach is heating up. Interim names are floating around, from defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz to offensive assistant Alex Van Pelt. But truthfully, whoever steps into that role will face an impossible task, replacing not just a coach, but a culture builder. Stefanski's influence reached every corner of the organization, from how practices were run to how players handled adversity. Without his steady hand, there's real concern that the locker room could fracture. The Browns front office now faces a public relations nightmare, convince fans that this is just a bump in the road, while privately scrambling to restore stability. If the team falters in the coming weeks, this resignation could haunt them for years. And yet, in some strange way, the uncertainty has reignited the emotional heartbeat of Cleveland football. The city thrives on drama, and once again, it finds itself living through a story bigger than the game itself. A story of loss, loyalty, and the relentless pursuit of hope. As the dust begins to settle, one question remains: what will Kevin Stefanski's legacy truly be? For some, he'll forever be the man who brought the Browns back from the ashes, the coach who made fans believe again. For others, his sudden departure will cast a shadow of unfinished business, a what if that will linger in Cleveland lore. But maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of a new chapter for Stefanski, for the Browns, and for a league constantly searching for balance between human endurance and professional ambition. His story reminds us that behind every play call, every headline, there's a person wrestling with impossible expectations. And if this really is the end of his tenure in Cleveland, then it deserves to be remembered not as a scandal, but as a statement. Kevin Stefanski walked away on his own terms, leaving behind a city heartbroken, a team uncertain, and a legacy that, for better or worse, will never be forgotten. The Browns' leadership is said to be closely monitoring the situation, balancing team cohesion, media management, and player development, a challenge amplified by the heightened scrutiny of national coverage. Meanwhile, insiders hint at the potential for this drama to spill over into future drafts, trades, and even playoff strategies, as rival teams weigh psychological factors alongside physical talent. The story of Garrett's outspoken critique and Sanders' response has become more than just news. It is a cultural moment within the NFL, reflecting the intersection of competition, personality, and media spectacle in ways that captivate audiences, fuel discussion, and keep the league's narrative alive long after the opening whistle. Finally, as the dust begins to settle, it's clear that Garrett's declaration will be remembered as a defining moment in recent Browns history, one that may shape the franchise for years to come. Whether it leads to immediate changes, long-term cultural shifts, or simply a dramatic anecdote in the team's ongoing narrative, the statement has secured its place in the public consciousness. Analysts, fans, and insiders alike are tracking the situation closely, aware that such candid disclosures are rare and carry weight far beyond the initial shock value. The implications span roster management, coaching strategy, organizational culture, fan perception, and media coverage, illustrating the interconnected nature of professional sports in the modern era. Garrett's voice has become a catalyst, forcing a conversation that may have been unavoidable but is now impossible to ignore. The Browns, as an organization, will have to navigate these turbulent waters carefully, balancing performance expectations with the human realities of conflict, personality, and influence. In the end, the saga is far from over, and the reverberations of Garrett's bold statement will continue to shape the narrative of Cleveland football, keeping fans, media, and insiders captivated for the foreseeable future. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, And ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!